Yo, what is up guys? AD here, back with another Destiny Child video here on the channel. And in today's video, everyone, we are going to be overviewing the skill reserve system here on Destiny Child. Now, it's a pretty old system that was implemented, as you can see, on July 22nd of 2020. But I've had some questions recently on how the skill reserve system actually does work. And I've noticed that I've never put out a guide on the skill reserve system. So this is for all of the newer players, of course, so you guys can understand this system here for your skills for the units. So yeah, let's get into it. We'll be checking out the text guide here on the Destiny Child Moot page, and then we'll head on to the game and I'll show you some examples of units that do actually use certain skill reserve sets here in the global side of the game. So we do have here, unlike the previous method of using tap, slide, and drive skills when the battles were proceeding in auto skill or full auto mode, this is a function to set the order of both skills and the drive skill for each child. So you can set your desired skill sets for each unit here in PvE content. As you could see here, skill reserve system applicable contents, world map battle, which is story mode, Ragna break, world boss trial, narrative dungeon, as well as the rebirth lab, underground, event dungeon, and scenario dungeon as well. Now, as of this time, we still don't have the skill reserve system for Devil Rumble Endless Duel. But moving on here, as you guys could see here, how to reserve skills. Skill reserves can be set in both the child tab and battle preparation here. As you could see this image here, which does show you how you can set your skills here in the child tab, as well as before a battle there is an icon here as well to set the skill orders of your units here. Next up here, we do have in the skill reserve screen here. As you guys have probably seen already here, you can reserve the order of using the drive skill and then the tap and slide skills for each child. So we do have the image here, and I'll show you in game as well. The drive skill orders here towards the top. So you could click this orange button here and set the drive skill order for each of your units here, depending on which drive you do want to use first and which drive you do want to use last, etc. And of course, the skill orders of your units. And overall, we do tend to provide the skill orders for each event here on the Destiny Child team guides. Now, of course, it is best to test as well your own skill orders and to try and understand how each skill does work for all of your units, as it will benefit you into the future depending on the skill orders you do want to test out, etc. So we do have here, moving on, how to set the child's drive skill order. As you could see on screen here, we won't read all of the text on the guide here, but we do have here the drive skill orders, and you can pick your desired order. As you could see, they are driving Kubaba into Wodan and ending off in a Ganesha drive here. Totally random units here, but yeah, just to show you guys how the drive skill order does work here in the guide. And in this next image here, they show you how to drive the non-drive order skills here. As we did mention, you could alternate the skill orders here. As you could see, they do have Raccoon on tap, Kubaba on tap slide, Daphnis here on tap slide tap, Wodan here on tap slide, and Ganesha here on tap slide tap. Now, you don't need to set all of the nodes here, as they'll still repeat if you are using a short skill order. So let's use Kubaba as an example here. If you do want to tap slide only and repeat this over and over, you don't need to set another tap slide here, as it'll continue to repeat. So just an example there of how to set the non-drive skill orders there. And last but not least here, if there is an unreserved blank slot between reserved skills, the blank slot is deleted and the skill will be arranged as shown below. So if you do manage to leave a slot blank here, it'll go from the tap slide blank tap to a tap slide tap. So no blank slots here if you guys do manage to leave one in between your desired skill order. So a pretty easy system to understand, but I'll show you guys in game on how some units do actually use this. So we'll head in game now and I'll go over some examples of how certain units do manage to benefit greatly from this system. All right guys, so here we are in game and we'll be using Polar Pepita as an example of a unit that does benefit very well here from the skill order system. So as you guys could see, it's all about understanding the kits of your units here, and we do have here Pepita on tap slides. Now you guys may be wondering, why are we even using her tap? Shouldn't we just use her slide, as it is a 6-hitter? Now definitely amazing slide skill here for Pepita, and you'll be using it a ton, but you do want to implement some tap skills based on the unit's skills, and Pepita is one of those units in which you do want to use the tap skill. As we do go over it here, we do have here the counter attack, ignore enemies, reflect, and skill damage plus 40.6%, which is the main factor here on the tap skill. And she does have max stacks equaling 3 here on herself for 20 seconds long, and nullify 1 debuff attacks on self in PvE. So very nice here. You do want to use this, as of course the skill damage is increased by plus 40.6%, which is why we do use the tap before we do activate the slide skill, in which her slide will be dealing a bonus plus 40.6% here. And we also do have here the nullify, canceled in 10 seconds or after receiving 1 debuff attacks. So she does manage to nullify a debuff here on the tap skill as well, which is very helpful in events. So an amazing tap skill you do want to use on this unit, and this is just one of very many examples here. We'll head into the other ones in just a bit. But yeah, we do use Pepita here on tap slide. Some players do try tap slide slide. There are others that do use multiple taps, as of course her tap does stack up to 3 times, if you guys did notice there. So you could try this, but many have found it to work very well here on the tap slide order here. Now of course, adjust the skill orders based on your best damage here, and overall works better for yourself, as of course all of our units are unique, as we do have different equips on one another. So yeah, make sure to test out skill orders and use what works best for you. But so like I mentioned already, it's really important to understand the skills of your units, and that'll help you determine if a tap and slide skill order is worth even using. And it's all about testing out these skills as well. The final example we'll be showing you all in today's video, everyone, is the water type attacker for the world boss trial here, Cacia. So there she is on screen, and I'll show you guys my skill order before we do dive in on why I do use this skill order. So we do have here 1 tap into 4 slides here. So you guys may be wondering, why are you using 4 slides here and only 1 tap skill? So we do have here her tap skill, and I'll explain to you guys on why we do this. So we do have on world bosses, grant battle cry, attack plus 45.1%, stacked up to 3 times to self for 3 turns here. So the key information here on the tap skill is, of course, she does buff her damage by 45.1%, but she does grant this to herself for 3 turns long, which is very significant in the world boss trial. And a turn in the world boss trial is way longer compared to the other areas of the game, as of course you are running 20 units in the world boss trial, so turns do last significantly longer. And now if you guys don't understand what a turn is in Destiny Child, a turn is after a unit does manage to auto attack, the next auto attack does inform you that a turn has been completed. So one auto attack is the start of the turn, the next auto attack is the start of the second turn. So pretty easy to understand here for your units. So moving on to her slide skill, we do have here, of course, deal 4,962 210.2% damage to 3 random enemies here, and 3,305 ignore defense damage to fire type enemies. So since we gathered the information from her tap skill here, that it does last very long, considering we do have 20 units in the world boss trial, and this tap skill upon being ignited does last for 3 turns. So very nice here. We do manage to run the tap skill once, and then the 4 slides to get the maximum damage out of her, as we don't want to use too many tap skills, as we do have here the initial tap lasting for 3 turns. So 1 tap is more than enough here for the world boss trial. And of course, like I did mention, there are certain situations in which you may change this. Maybe a water type supporter does reduce her cooldown or increases something that may influence you to change the skill orders of your units. This is all depending on which units you are running, etc. So yeah, that is why we do inform you all on the suggested skill orders you should be using in each and every Destiny Child events guide. So that's pretty much it for the skill reserve guide here on my channel. Hopefully you guys did understand something here in this guide. It's a pretty easy one to understand, honestly, here for the skill reserve system, and we didn't show it, but here is the skill reserve order here for your units. Like we did mention earlier, you can set the draft skill orders for your units here on the top side, and we do have the bottom side here to set the skill orders of your other units here on your team, being the non-drive skills. But anyways, everyone, that'll pretty much do it for today's Destiny Child video here on the channel. Make sure to leave a like on this one if you guys did enjoy today's guide. Of course, a beginner's guide here, so hopefully it did help out all of you newer players. Make sure to let me know if you do happen to have any questions on the skill reserve system in the comment section below. But before you go, make sure to leave a like on this video, and of course, if you guys haven't yet done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested in more Destiny Child content such as this video here today. And make sure to check out the links in the description box below to my Twitch channel as well as to the other social medias as well. But with all of that being said, I'll see you all in the next Destiny Child video. As always, thank you all so much for watching.